Spider-Man is a cool superhero, to be sure, and that's reflected in his superhuman abilities. Few superheroes can claim to be as cool as everyone's favorite friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Since he was created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko in 1962's Amazing Fantasy number 15, Spidey has defined cool in a number of ways in the pages of Marvel Comics and beyond. CBR video of the day. Spider-Man's now iconic, non-traditional red and blue costume looks cool. The witty banter he shares with friends and foes alike makes him cool. But the defining factor when it comes to Spider-Man's coolness is his wide array of incredible powers. Spider-Man is a cool superhero, to be sure. And that's reflected in his superhuman abilities. One aspect of Spider-Man that's always endeared him to readers is how relatable he is. In any incarnation, whether it's Peter Parker or Miles Morales, Spidey is just a regular person dealing with living a regular life. But knowing that this regular person can lift upward of 20 tons makes them instantly less regular and more cool. Spider-Man has used his strength to impress onlookers for decades. The proportional strength of a spider may not mean much, scientifically, but in practice, it's a decidedly cool advantage. When Sam Raimi's first Spider-Man film was released in 2002, fans were split over the movie's choice to depict Peter Parker's web shooters as organic. More than 2 decades later, though, multiple iterations of Spidey have used organic web shooters, including Peter Parker and 2099's Miguel O'Hara, and it's become almost natural for the character. It can't be denied that the idea of shooting spider webs from within one's own body is weird. But at the same time, it's pretty cool to have an instantly available and viable mode of transportation at a moment's notice. Spider-Man may be strong and durable, but he isn't indestructible. Spidey has a knack for not giving up, meaning he sometimes stays in a fight longer than he should. But without his accelerated healing powers, his coolness would have frozen over a long time ago. Although not as potent as his Marvel Universe contemporary Wolverine, Spider-Man has the ability to heal from injuries in a remarkably short time frame. The wall-crawler definitely goes through his share of wear and tear, but his healing powers allow him to recover and swing back into action in no time. When Miles Morales took over as Spider-Man after the death of Peter Parker in the Ultimate Universe, the character needed some aspects to set him apart from his predecessor. In addition to a cool new costume, Miles discovered he had the ability to weaponize his body's own electricity. Miles's venom blasts and venom beams give him a definite advantage when it comes to battling the bad guys. And the fact that he can use this power virtually without warning makes it all the more awesome. For a short time during the Other, a storyline that saw Spider-Man embrace his more animalistic traits, Spidey was armed with a pair of retractable stingers just below his wrists. The stingers were razor-sharp and released a venomous toxin that would induce short-term paralysis in their victims. While Peter Parker didn't hang on to these extensions of his spider powers for very long, they gave him a definite edge and certainly made him just a little bit more spider-like. Kane Parker, one of the many Spider-Man clones walking the Marvel Universe, still has the stingers, but there is just something special about the stingers being used by a real Spider-Man. Spider-Man doesn't often take advantage of the benefits that lurking in the shadows provides. Indeed, failing to use darkness to his advantage is one of Spidey's tactical shortcomings. When he does elect to keep himself unseen, though, his night vision definitely comes in handy. Peter Parker developed the ability to see in the dark far better than any normal human, which was another benefit of his evolution from the Other. He can't exactly operate in the dark with the proficiency of Daredevil, but this is decidedly one of Spider-Man's cooler, if more underutilized, abilities. While Peter Parker evolved a few traits that made him a bit more spider-like over the years, Miles Morales had quite a few animalistic advantages from the start. Among Miles's more unique and awesome abilities is his power of invisibility. Miles has the ability to practically render himself, clothing and all, practically invisible, perfectly blending into his surroundings. It's a power that would have come in handy for Peter Parker over the decades, and it's one that Miles has used to great effect in his role within the ever-expanding Spider-Verse. Aside from his web-slinging, Spider-Man's most well-known power is his ability to adhere to any surface. The power to stick to walls, ceilings and everything in between is the most arachnid-like of Spidey's original range of abilities. Spider-Man's power to scale walls, coupled with his enhanced strength and flexibility, has gotten him out of his share of tough jams. Spidey has developed a handful of powers that he doesn't use very much over the years, but his wall crawling is one that stuck around. It may be one of his most basic powers, but it's also one of his coolest. Some of the most famous images of Spider-Man ever rendered, drawn by some of the greatest artists in comics history, often have the arachnite in positions that would be awkward for any other superhero. But thanks to Spider-Man's uniquely enhanced agility, he's able to pull off poses that would give most professional contortionists a cramp. Spidey's agility has become one of his signature trademarks, one highlighted and made famous by artists such as Todd McFarlane, Eric Larson, and Mark Bagley. It's an enhanced ability that's not only cool in and of itself, but it also helps Spidey look cool at the same time. For all of Spider-Man's incredible powers, none of them do him much good if he falls prey to surprise dangers. Perhaps one of the reasons the character has endured and survived for more than 60 years is his famous early warning power, his Spider Sense. It's enabled Spider-Man to best villains that no other superhero could defeat on several occasions. The phrase "my Spidey sense is tingling" has practically entered the public parlance, used whenever someone has a bad feeling about something. Spider-Man's incredible ability to detect danger before it happens borders on precognitive, and is unquestionably the coolest power in Spidey's arsenal.